If you've been thinking about starting an AI service business, you probably came to the same conclusion as I did. It's generally impossible to build something real in the current state of the world. There's way too much noise. It feels like there are a million moving parts. And for you to even know what to do, you have to consume hundreds, if not thousands of hours worth of content, only to lead you to a million different tools that you have to then master. For every single tool that you get access to, you realize that there is 10 different tools that does the same thing. So now you have to go test all of them to figure out which one has the best quality in their output. This video, I want to help you understand that it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to spend the next 6 months, 12 months learning more, consuming more content, playing with a lot of different tools. Your number one focus is how do you go from idea to income in less than 7 days. And for me to be able to achieve this within my business, I realized that we had to develop something that is completely different from what every other AI software company is doing, which is I don't want to have to use 50 different tools to do one thing. I want to be able to become an AI architect where I can use this agent, then get it to do something and then send it to this other agent and cook up something a little different and then have this other thing that helps me deploy it in the market and then help me read the data back from this deployment and see if it's working and then send it back to the agent to help me build. I want to show you what in 2026 every AI service provider will need to evolve into. They'll need to evolve into an AI architect. And the best way for me to show you how this future will look like, how this evolution will happen, is by cooking and building right in front of you. The process is really simple. I'm going to show you how I'm leveraging AI and this platform to essentially pick the best markets that have the highest pain and that are willing to pay money to get it solved with AI. Then I'm going to show you how we're building the offers. Then I'm going to show you how we're leveraging it to create revenue generating sales assets. I'm talking about funnels, sales scripts, appointment setting scripts, content. And last but not least, we're going to go into how do we actually get clients for this offer. If you've been looking for the AI playbook and the AI system that allows you to launch and scale an AI service business all through leveraging AI, the idea that you can go from an idea to an income in 7 days or less, then I believe that this is the video that you've been waiting for that will allow you to know how to solve that problem. Let's get started. The best way for me to show you how to build on this Cook AI platform is by leveraging it to build something myself, okay? So in this quick video, well, it's not going to be quick. It's going to take probably the next 45 minutes. But I want to show you how I personally go about building and leveraging every tool, every agent, every system on this platform to build an AI growth firm. What does that mean? Essentially, we believe that the best opportunity right now is helping businesses scale with AI. Why are we specifically focusing on scaling, helping them grow? It's because the tools in the market right now that handle things like appointment setting, that handle things like content, creatives, that handle any type of playbook that comes with growth or that helps acquire growth, all the tools that essentially can be put in a system are as good as they get, right? Essentially, when you're launching your AI offering, you need to make sure that there is feasibility, right? So we could for sure try to solve accounting with AI. We could start a service where we help them manage their team on the field with AI. But those things would mean that we would be forced to go ahead and do what? Build the actual underlying infrastructure, the tools themselves, which we don't want to do. We want to go from 0 to 1. 0 to validating our offer, 0 to validating and making money as fast as possible. And that, unfortunately, is controlled by the feasibility of the thing we're selling. If you were to go from 0 to 1, what does going from 0 to 1 mean? It means you have clarity, okay? Right now, let's say you're at 0. You don't know who you're going after. You don't know what you're selling. To go from 0 to 1, by 0 to 1, it really means being able to validate and collect $1 or 10 grand, okay? If you can get a stranger to give you even $10,000, even $1, you essentially have product market fit. You have validated that people want what you have to sell. Now, what do you have to acquire? What do you have to build in order to go from here to here? It's really simple. First of all, you have to have clarity, which, on Circle, there's already the content where I essentially break down this here. Let me actually pause and I'm going to show you 1 second. In the program on Circle, I go over these kind of like frameworks, which is essentially I'm explaining why now, what is the model, the journey ahead, the 5 stages, okay, and the expectations, of course, right? So check out this. If you haven't seen it, go on Circle. You're going to see phase 0, which is like, okay, get clarity and understand what is the game that we're trying to play. Once you understand this, then you're ready for what? To actually go and actually start cooking, okay? Now, the first step you need to do is identify which market you're going to go after. Step 2 is figure out what system solves their biggest bottleneck. Okay, so first you identify the market, then you figure out the gap. Then once you understand the gap, then you get an AI agent to essentially design the system. Then once you have the thing you want to sell, then you start building the asset so you can actually go to market. How are you going to launch? Which platform are you going to launch your outreach? Are you going to generate attention on? What assets do you want? How are you going to acquire clients? What is going to be the sales script, the appointment setting script, the sales script, all these things. And then solve for delivery, solve for scale, and the next phase. Okay. For me today, I want to go from here all the way to here. Okay. Because this here is the main thing that will keep you from actually launching your actual offer. Let's get started. Most people would want to get started on the cooking page, but you don't actually want to do that, right? What you want to do is go on the think page and find this agent called category architect. Now we have this voice note here, so you don't actually need to type this here, so it's actually cool. But the reason why you want to start with this category architect is because 99% of the time, the market you're going to go after has already been pitched a million times over. So I like to use this category agent to help me find an edge when it comes to positioning, right? How does that work? Really simple. I want to go, let's say today I want to go after med spas. Help me find their, just literally send this. So it is asking me what specific niche are you targeting with your AI-powered build and release system? AI clinics on Botox and filler, medical weight loss. I'm going to just say this here. So it's essentially helping you niche down as to what services they're offering. Okay. Number one thing it's going to do is define the new game, right? We'll uncover the hidden bottleneck that's keeping aesthetics clinics stuck, then flip the script with a brand new category you can own. Why is this so powerful? It's because in a market where the market is sophisticated, you essentially want to create a game that they can't say no to. You almost like want to flip the script on them, and you want to create a game where it's inevitable for you not to have something that they want. So check this out. What they currently think is more procedures equals more profit. Owners double down on booking volume, believing the sheer volume will solve cash flow issues. The best tech wins. They chase the newest laser or filler device, assuming their hardware alone will create a moat, right? They think that by reinvesting in the tools they use at work, that's going to make people want to do business with them somehow, right? Marketing is a one-off spend. They pour money into ads or influencers expecting instant leads, then panic when ROI drops, right? So these are the things that they're believing. Hidden fear, running out of qualified staff. They worry that scaling will require hiring more clinicians, which feels risky and costly. Why is this something important to understand? Well, it's because if you go to them and you're just pitching them, hey, let me get you more clients, but you don't understand that deep down they're actually afraid of growth, because they know that if they scale too big, then they won't have a team to actually manage it, and then it's going to create more problems, right? Secret desire. They want a predictable high margin growth without adding headcount or expensive equipment upgrades. This is the thing you need to sell them. You need to allow them to experience this dream outcome. Now, here is the old game. What the market is currently playing. The old promise that they're sold is buy the latest laser, flood the inbox with ads, and you'll hit 10 to 15% month over month growth, right? Tactics, heavy ad spend, one-off device purchases, manual scheduling and follow-up spreadsheet-based patient pipelines, flawed belief. This is their flawed belief, which is a linear function of more procedures and more ads, right? Monetization impact, 70 and 80 to 80% of ad spend evaporates before a patient even books. High cost equipment sits idle 30 to 40% of the time, dragging margins down to 15 to 20%. And I met this girl who she doesn't own a med spa, but she owned like a little aesthetic little business, and one of her equipment cost her $20,000, right? Imagine investing 20 grand, and she's not running a $1 million business, right? She's just doing as a solopreneur. If you invest 20 grand as a solopreneur, imagine how much these med spa clinics are having to pay for most of their equipment. It's a lot of money, right? The real constraint is fragmented manual patient journey orchestration. Leads enter via ads, sit in a spreadsheet, manual callbacks, inconsistent follow-up echoes, and again, it ends up in drop-off. Each step requires a human touch, creating latency, error, and capacity limits. Because the workflow isn't automated, clinics can scale the same number of clinicians to handle more patients without sacrificing quality or burning out staff. Why it hurts revenue. Missed follow-ups cost 2 to 3K per lost high-ticket procedure. Average LTV stays flat because patients aren't nurtured into a repeat treatment cycle. So every time you lose a follow-up with a potential prospect, you lose the potential to make 2 to 3 grand. Okay? But what's even worse is that if you're not able to nurture the leads that you paid for initially on ads and get them to buy more things, get them to show up at another session, your LTV, your lifetime value of each customer stays flat. What is the new game? So now, without any understanding of the med spa industry, I know what they're dealing with, right? Now, let's go into what should be the new game that we essentially sell them. AI orchestrated growth engine for aesthetics clinics. The core idea: replace manual spreadsheet-driven pipeline with an AI-powered end-to-end build and release system that captures, nurtures, and converts leads on autopilot while feeding the clinic's clinicians a pre-qualified high-intent schedule. Key shifts: go from more ads to smarter conversions. Go from device-centric to system-centric. Go from human-bound capacity to AI-augmented capacity, right? We don't want to rely on humans anymore. We want to augment them with AI. Monetization unlock: reduce ad waste by 40%. AI filters low intent leads. Increase in lifetime value. Automated re-engagement drives repeat treatment cycles. 30% more average spend. It adds an extra 30% on average spend per patient. Scalable operation: one AI workflow can handle 5 times a lead without hiring additional staff. Why is this important? Because one of their hidden fears is that as they scale, they have to scale their team. They don't want to do that, right? And then here it will suggest names for this AI solution. Aesthetic Growth OS, Clinic Scale AI Framework, Beauty Funnel Protocol, Laser Lead. I like this one, personally. Okay, so now, once you have done this, to be honest, with this alone, you can even go straight to start building and start cooking. But there is, you can keep going. Next, what this is going to do is actually going to go more in depth by calling out the old things that they believe, right? So it's going to call out the same things we read earlier, why the old game doesn't work. This is really important for you if you want to get as much context so you can be able to create sales assets, or at least get AI to build sales assets. So what the old way promised: clinics pour 10 to 30K into ads, expecting a 3 to 5x return, but only see a 1.2, 1.5 because most leads never get nurtured. What it actually created: manual spreadsheets, clinicians spend time on admin instead of procedures, 40% drop out. The hidden cost, that the pain no one talks about: loss of professional credibility. Patients experience radio silence after the first contact, eroding trust and brand reputation. Opportunity cost: every hour spent on manual follow-up is an hour not performing a billable procedure, $300 to $500 an hour, right? Over a typical 30-day cycle, clinic can waste 9 to 12 grand in clinician time alone. Wow, crazy. Enemy name: so you essentially want to you want to name the old way of how they run and try to grow their business, which is the lead leak labyrinth. A maze of manual steps that swallow leads, burn staffs, and stalls growth, right? Boom. So I'm just going to keep going. Next, truth bombs are essentially, let me read it what they are. These are the mic drop insights that make the lead leak, so the old way of doing things, feel impossible to ignore, and position your AI orchestrated growth engine as an inevitable escape, right? Most of the time, you don't sell people by telling them what you have. You sell them by showing them how the old way of doing things doesn't make any sense. And that leaves your way of doing things as the only viable, sound path to take, okay? So, what are kind of truth bombs? Like here, ads don't close patients, they only expose the leak. 40% of ad spend goes to leads that never get a follow-up, draining 8 to 12K per month per clinic. Your laser is a tool, not a growth engine. Investing 30 to 50K in new equipment adds capacity only if you have a steady qualified schedule. Otherwise, it sits idle 30 to 40% of the time, slashing margins to 15% and more. Slashing margin to 15% plus, right? Manual spreadsheets are the modern day paper trail that kills scalability. Each manual, okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. High ticket aesthetic procedures are sold on trust, not volume. Okay, tell me about it. Without an AI-driven nurture sequence, 60 to 70% of high-intent leads never receive a personalized content that converts them, costing 1 to 2K per missed repeat treatment. The more clinicians, the more revenue. Myth caps you at 8-hour days, right? Hiring an extra clinician adds an extra 8 to 12K a month in payroll. Yet without a system, they can only handle 10 to 12 extra appointments. ROI often less than 30%, right? These are things that you could take and go create content on shorts, on ads, on YouTube, everything. Or add them in your, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to cook with it. Keep watching. Next. What this does essentially is turn the actual system engine into a concrete visual framework that aesthetic clinics can see, believe in, and buy on the spot. Okay? So actually, it essentially helps you structure the system, or at least even help you see it visually, right? A 4-stage flywheel that continuously pulls in new high intent prospects, nurtures them with AI personalized content, books qualified appointments, and then re-engages for repeat treatments, right? Stage 1, lead magnet capture and AI to qualify. Prospect lands on a microsite or ad linked form, an AI chatbot. This here could be the AI chatbot that we have on our snapshot on Go High Level, right? So when you join our program, you get access to a Go High Level account with these systems already pre-built, right? So like here, it will give you steps on how to build it on like GPT-4, or Whisper, and Zapier, and Airtable, or Retail AI, all these things. But we already have most of the voice agent, the chatbots already pre-built, so you don't have to worry about this. But essentially, you need to help the client have a funnel or a landing page or somewhere where people can opt in, right? The bots scores lead instantly and tags them. Botox ready, laser curious, because it will talk with them, right? Whether that be on the phone or through chat. What does it solve? It eliminates the manual triage bottleneck. Only high intent leads move forward, right? The boost by 40%, right? AI powered nurture sequence. Oh, this is good. This I do like. Based on the lead tag, the system sends a personalized multi-channel nurture track, email, SMS, WhatsApp, short video, right? Because now we live in a world where you can create content with AI. So you can send them a short video. You can have AI follow up with them on WhatsApp. You can have emails that are personalized on the prospect themselves. What does it solve? Bridges the trust gap by the lead leak labyrinth, right? Executable via high level for workflow automation, Claude for copy generation, voice over videos, right? Stage 3, smart calendar sync. When a lead reaches ready to book, the AI proposes 3 optimal appointment slots based on the clinician availability and reduces predicted procedure length, right? This prospect confirms via a single click or just literally over the phone. The appointment auto-populates the clinic's calendar. An AI briefing note, summary of prospect's concerns, is sent to the clinician 24 hours before the visit. Stage 4, post-treatment re-engagement referral flywheel. After the procedure, the system sends a personalized recovery guide, AI generated, based on treatment type, 7-day and 30-day follow-up, ask for feedback, offer a next step treatment, and provide a referral incentive. Say, if you want to pre-book, we'll give you a $50 credit, right? Satisfied patients are automatically entered into a VIP loop that receives exclusive offers and educational content, turning them into repeat purchase engines. What does this solve? Turns off transaction into a lifetime value engine, leverages word of mouth without extra staff, right? And then also how you could potentially build this. Now that we understand what the system should look like, then we're like, okay, cool. Next. This essentially is going to help you with, is going to create like the headline, the identity, who is it for? It's going to call out, hey, who is this for? This is for high performing aesthetic clinics who are doing $1 to $5 million a year that already have proven service offering, laser, Botox, fillers, but are limited. They have at least one full-time clinician and a marketing budget of 10 to 20, 30K per month. Now, I probably wouldn't worry so much about capping this to 10 to 30K per month, but I want people who already have a validator service offering, right? That are ready to replace busy work with an AI-driven system that multiplies their booked appointments without hiring more staff. This is not for if you're freelance injectors or solo practitioners, if you're clinics that only rely on walk-ins, if you're a business that want to set and forget black box with no willingness to integrate a modest tech stack, right? Traps to avoid: being too generic for any clinic that wants growth, so you don't want to be too generic. Overpromising, no work at all. So you don't want to just tell them like, oh, there's not going to be any work, because at the first you need to help them set up the system. So you guys are going to need to work together. Using jargon that clinic owners don't speak. Pipeline orchestration: keep the language vivid, relatable. Lead, leak, growth engine, AI architect, right? These are like magnetic headline. So I want to summarize this. 1 second. All right. So I just asked it to summarize everything and don't leave anything out. Put it in a category kind of like artifact, so like an asset that summarizes everything that it gave me. Why is this important? Is because you're going to need it to feed this into the next kind of like agent to help you build your next assets. So I'm going to copy paste this here. I don't want to copy paste the whole thing. At the bottom, there is a button to copy paste everything, but it double kind of like is sent to the output twice, like at the bottom here. So it would be too much. And as you guys can see here, it already tells you the next steps that you should do, right? Which is, hey, would you like to now pass this into the system build agent? Because now that you have the market, you understand what's not working for them. You understand what are the truth bombs. You understand what is the system that can solve their current problems. You understand who this is for. Then really all you need to do is click here, go to this AI system architect, right? And paste, help me design the system for the offer for this market. Boom. What it essentially does is we designed this system to be able to, if let's say we didn't have any of the snapshots, we have all the pre-built systems on our Go High Level account. We want this to be able to help you build the actual system. Or you could just take this system design blueprint and go on Fiverr and give it to someone who can essentially, an AI automation expert, to help you build and integrate this into a voice platform, all the AI tools that is needed, right? So workflow architecture, what is it, right? It is going to tell you what it is. It is going to tell you at each stage what happens, right? Smart calendar sync, who should build it, an AI prompt engineer. The AI prompt engineer could be you, right? You don't need to hire an AI prompt engineer. An integration specialist. This is someone who's good with Make.com, N8N, a bunch of chatbots, Calendly, someone who can integrate all this. Of course, we have that internally. So if you ever need someone like this, just message the team. Creative producer records short video assets. I don't necessarily think this is needed. Not really. Like if in the offer, I wouldn't necessarily go ahead and, if I can create the video all with AI, I don't want to hire anybody for it, right? Clinic operations lead defines capacity. Okay, I guess this would be probably someone on the team of that clinic. Tools and stack logic. This is why this stack narrative, right? So what is it? A modular low-code ecosystem any non-technical founder can spin up, maintain, and hand off. Why it matters. You need tools that talk to each other without requiring a full-time dev team, yet still give you the flexibility to upgrade a single component. How it works? So essentially it's putting together all the other tools, nurture channels, delivery logic. It is going to show you how the engine becomes a sellable service, right? What it is, a tiered delivery model that lets you start with a done-for-you launch for a handful of pilot clinics, then evolve into a semi-automated managed service, and finally, a self-serve software product that any clinic can subscribe to. What did I always say? That the goal is, as you start this first layer of your business, which is integrating AI systems and AI solution, once you have enough clients, once you have done this enough, you can automate it and create an actual software. Right? So it's actually going to tell you in what phases you're actually going to do it, right? Which is the first phase is done for you, set up the things, right? You sign a 6-month contract with 2 to 3 flagship clinics. Your team builds the entire flywheel for them, custom brands the microsite, records the initial video assets, and run the first ad campaigns. You charge a setup fee 8-12K plus a monthly management retainer, 2 to 3K a month, that covers ad spend, AI usage, and ongoing optimization. You could charge this and even still get them to pay for ads, okay? Maybe this covers AI usage, but not ad spend. Personally, I wouldn't do that, right? Phase 2 of your journey is, with the case studies in hand, you open a growth engine membership where clients pay a monthly subscription, 1.5K to 2K, and a revenue share on incremental LTV. So every time you increase their lifetime value of their clients, you get a piece, right? Your team hands over the microsite and chatbot configuration, but you retain the AI prompt library and Zapier flows. Clinics get a quarterly performance review and a growth coach call, right? Like you consult the actual business. Phase 3, once you've gone through this phase, you go into a self-serve SaaS, which you can do it, let's say, in the next 12 months or next 15 months. You productize the entire stack into a white label platform. Pricing starts at $4.99, another one at $9.99 for the full 4-stage flywheel and enterprise custom for the fit forecasting stage and API only access, right? Onboarding is 30 minutes of video walkthrough plus a live setup sprint, okay? Who delivers in each phase? The founder and senior integration specialist and copywriter. That's literally all the employees you need. You need you, an integrator, and a copywriter or someone to do like the prompting, right? Phase 2, dedicated account manager, junior integration specialist. The phase 3, that's where you might need a bigger team. But in this first phase, 2 phases of the business, you could be running literally a 100K a month business with only having a team of 3 people, right? Implementation planner, okay? I'm not going to go over this, but this is really important because it allows you to go from being unaware about the market to understanding the market and what they need and what AI solution can help them, to then having this AI system architect be able to tell you from not just what tools you need, who to hire, but it also breaks down the entire journey of your business from an integration business to a software business, right? Which is why I wanted to build this, because I think it's so important. It is so important. Now, I kind of like have this, so I understand everything. So let me see what it is going to say. You now have a complete repeatable system that turns a lead into a self-fueling growth engine. The architecture is built on modular AI services, low-code automation. If any piece feels too technical, if you'd like help sourcing the prompt engineer, integration specialist, or the first, just let me know. I can connect you with vetted talent or draft an exact outreach script. So if you wanted to hire each person outside, maybe you don't want to use our team, you could ask it to script out like each role, where to find them, and then you can go literally find people by the end of the day. Now that we understand the market, their pain, the systems to sell, how to build it, who to hire to build it, what the journey of the business should look like, then we're actually ready to start cooking. It took me 30 minutes to understand a market that I didn't understand anything about. It took me 30 minutes to understand that and also understand the system, how to build it, who to hire, and what my business should look like in the future. I kid you not, if you had to get this level of depth traditionally, I know people who are selling to med spas who don't even understand this. And we did it in 30 minutes, right? Now that I'm like, that I understand everything, then I kind of feel like I'm ready to cook. So I'm going to go to the cook phase, to the cook page, right? And then I'm actually going to start a new workspace, right, for just this business. Then I'm going to start what? I'm going to go on offer. I'm going to say med spa. What is the name of it? Anyway, let's just call it med spa OS. I'm going to change it later. And then I'm going to do create artifact. And then can you please create an offer based on this research doc artifact and update the editor with it. So I copy pasted everything that I had in the research here at the top, and I'm just pasting it here, right? So let's see what the offer ends up being. Aesthetic growth engine OS. Why this works is by outcomes, not feature, fast track to more appointments, low risk, and AI orchestrated system. Who is this for? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now I want to stress test this with another side of things. With here, I want to see if the offer changes. So we also have a thinking agent here that you can also ask to build your offer. Can you build this? Can you turn this artifact and MedSpa research into an offer, right? So you just want to be sure you have multiple different sides where you can leverage and see if it's going to work the same, right? Okay, cool. So kind of like you can maybe, I like this one better. So I'm just going to copy paste this one. And then I'm going to do what? I prefer this better. Can you update the editor with this offer instead? All right, now that we have the offer here, then the next thing would be to go back to think actually. And you want to go to the ads agent. Why do we want to go straight to ads? Is because it's kind of like going to be one of the most important thing that you can work on. Can you create ads for the previous offer we just created? So the reason why I want to test this is I want to see if it actually remembers what was sent in the past, right? So let's go send this. Okay. Would you like to tweak? I want it to be in depth and follow the framework you have, please. 1 second. I'm going to tweak this. Actually, I think it's good. Can you give me five of them? These are just headlines, by the way. High performing. Would you like me to, before we move into the primary text? No. So it gives me the headlines, primary text, and then it will write to the actual body of your ads. I think this is for, would you like me to tweak any short before we move on to the video ad hook? Next, just want to see, what if every ad you spend 30K on this is disappearing into a maze? Quick cut to a spreadsheet exploding into a black hole animation. So this is kind of like the cinematics edit. Promises our aesthetic growth engine OS seals the leak, delivering 5 times more booked appointments from auto lasers to revenue engine. Okay, imagine doubling your botox bookings without adding a single clinician. Oh, nice. Would you like? Nope. So this is talking head ads if you wanted to shoot them. I want to see if everything goes. Just faceless ad script. This is sick. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm looking for. So it's just producing a bunch of different ads. You now have faceless TikTok ready for TikTok, Instagram Reels. Can you resend the statics? Perfect. I want to design images even better to align with the niche. Can you provide more context in the creative? Yes, this is perfect. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to come back to this later, guys, but this is what I wanted. Anyway, let's go back to here. So the next thing you want is you want to build a video sales letter. MedSpa OS. Can you create a video sales letter for this offer? Just want to make sure that it actually worked. Who is your ideal customer? Boom. Let me actually just copy paste this offer. So what I just realized is that this video sales letter agent, it highly relies on the category artifact. So the same inputs we put here for the category OS is what this VSL kind of like builder wants. So I'm going to go back, copy paste that, and then add it here and see if it goes straight ahead and actually builds me the actual video sales letter. All right, so just said, here's everything you need. Please leverage the following and update the editor VSL. So I pasted it here. Let's see if it's going to work. Oh, it's still missing for a complete. Your personal story, skip them. I don't have any. Or just add some made up stories, right? So here it's going to essentially want to make it a story base, like where you have a background. But if you don't have any, just say you don't have any. Let's see if it actually goes ahead and actually generates it. All right, it actually just did it, right? You've spent thousands on ads, bought the latest laser, and still watch leads slip through a maze of spreadsheets, missed callbacks, and frantic front desk chaos. The feeling, the nagging belief that more ads and more equipment equals growth keeps you stuck while your high-ticket chairs sit empty. I'm Dr. Maya Patel, founder of an aesthetic growth engine OS. After running a boutique med spa for 6 years, I watched my own clinic bleed 80K to 100K each quarter to ad waste and idle equipment. One night, after a double-booked nightmare that left me a client angry and a clinician scrambling, I realized the problem wasn't the ads for the laser. It was the lead leak labyrinth we built ourselves. I assembled a team of AI engineers, copywriters, clinic ops experts, and in 90 days, we built a plug-and-play AI-orchestrated growth system that turned our chaotic lead pipeline into a self-fueling flywheel. Within 60 days, we doubled our book high-ticket appointments, cut ad wasted by 40%, and lifted profits by 33%, all without hiring another clinician, right? What's broken in the market? Introducing the new mechanism, right? And then book a call. Guys, forget about being Dr. Maya Patel, but if you just replace it and just say, hey, we researched in this industry and we saw that this is what, after, you can literally change this from saying, and then just say, hey, after talking with 5 kind of like med spa owners, this is what they were doing. They were bleeding 100K each quarter from this and this, right? So it put together a team of engineers, it put team of growth operators in this market. And then we built a system that can essentially double booking, cut ad waste by 40%, and lift profit by 30 to 33%. And then you can go in and talk about what's broken in the marketplace, blah, okay? Now, once you have this, the next thing is what? Build your what? Build your VSL. No, your funnel actually. One second, I'm gonna go and cook that up. Landing page, med spa, it gets fun once it starts working. I like seeing great outputs, you know? Let me see. I'm going to copy paste this offer. I'm just going to ask it, please build a landing page for this offer and update the editor ASAP. The reason why I say update the editor is because sometimes it will give me the code of the funnel here and not actually update what's here. So sometimes you just literally got to tell it to fix things, right? Now, in this case, I don't like this funnel, so I'm going to try to get it to build a better funnel, right? And what's missing here is I want it, so you can give it context, right? You can be like, the funnel is going to be us driving leads from ads to a landing page with a VSL and a calendar underneath. Can you update this funnel with the best structure that you can come up with for a video VSL funnel? I want the highest conversions into applications, and also want the headline to call out the deepest desire of the market. Something like that. Let's see if it does it. All right, just changed it for fill your clinic every day without hiring more staff. I think the hiring staff is really something that's big for this market. Of course, this can be made much better. You can change this, and most of the time when you guys are go through onboarding the first time, you guys are going to get much higher quality landing pages, which already have kind of like a structure like this. So if I was to ask this landing page the same thing, it would essentially build me a more structured VSL funnel like this, right? But for the sake of speed, I'm just going to keep pushing. One second. All right, so what I just did to just change it is I asked it, can you just make each section look, feel premium and not just some text? And it put this here, put these into bold, to these boxes. I'm actually going to say, can you do it even better? Imagine you were paid $1 million to design this VSL funnel that is supposed to bring in 10 to $100 million. Let's see what it does. All right, it didn't change too much, but it did add this here. It added this little logo. It added the button to book a call. It added this here. You would essentially just embed your VSL. Here you would embed your calendar. what clinics are saying, double your book to high appointment in 60 days. Who is this for? Boom, 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 right? So you could kind of like change it, add more colors as you want, right? Now, once you have a landing page like this, you need to understand, okay, how do I take it from here to my Go High Level account, right? To actually make it live. So here's what you do. You literally ask this chat and say, hey, I want to deploy this in GHL. Can you give me the code so I can just paste it and make it live? Here's what happens when you ask it. It starts putting together all this code, right? And the way that it works is all you need to do is the following. Copy paste this, right? There's a button to copy here, but it's just going to copy this entire block, so I don't want that, right? Once you have copy pasted this, do you want to press, I'm going to press pause and I'm going to go open up my Go High Level account. If you don't know how to open up your Go High Level account, you should have accessed it in Circle. You have a snapshot that is given access to you. I think it's even shared with you. It's in Circle, right? The content portal. You can just duplicate it, go create your Go High Level account, and then go and go do exactly what I'm about to do right now. 1 second. All right, so I have a sub account, an agency account on Go High Level. So you can see that I have a lot, right? I have a lot of different accounts here, right? So I'm just going to look for our own business here. And look at here, we already have snapshots with all the AI self-selling snapshots. So if you want to have AI agents and voice agents already pre-built, you could get one of these and that's going to be fine, right? But I want to just see if this is the right one. So once you have this here, let me go. So you go to sites, okay? And then you might want to create a new folder, right? So create a new folder here, call it the med spa, whatever you're wanting to launch, right? I think I already have test funnels. Okay, cooking live. So you're going to have something like this. Then you want to have new funnel, start from blank. So I'm going to call it the med spa. You want to add a step, VSL page, create a funnel step, create from blank page. Traditionally, when you were building a funnel like this here, you needed to like add these headlines and then you needed to write this, blah. But this is, in the world of AI, we're not doing none of that anymore. You just go here to code. You find the custom code here, right? And then you open code editor here. And then you just paste this here. Boom. Then I guess you kind of like want to save it here. Then you want to click view. Boom. There you go. Your funnel is live, right? Now, I don't like these colors, so I may want to do like more black and green, things like that. But for the sake of speed, we're not going to be changing that. But you can do anything you want, right? You can ask it to be green, can change the color scheme, all that good stuff, right? Now, here's one thing I want to show you. Since we're not adding custom buttons, well, then do you embed or add a calendar or have these buttons work, right? The way you do it, because even for me, I was struggling, you essentially go back here and you're like, hey, I want to be able to embed the URLs for each button. Can you show me each button that I need to update in the code? You can ask it. That's step one. This is kind of like how I did it. I guess it was like, oops, 1 second, someone's calling me. All right, so what this will provide you is it will provide you with every single button that you need to update, right? Now, what's even better is instead of you having to go in the code, so I'm going to show you guys an example. If you wanted to update each button, you would open up code and you would essentially just try to find where the buttons are, right? So I'll try to see it here. So you see like where it says watch video here, and then there's going to be, I can't even see it. That's how bad it is. So like here are CTA to watch the quick video, I guess watch quick demo. You see like this little thing here. And then you would have to like find a CTA action, schedule my call, which I think is at the bottom here. You would have to go ahead and update the actual link, right? Instead of doing that, you could be just like, can I just give you the URLs to my calendar, to my calendar for each video or button, and you just update it in the code, and I can paste it while it's live. So you can actually then just find for each button, give it a link, and then it will give you the code with these links already with the URL to just, when someone clicks on it, it goes straight to it, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna just say, let me go find my YouTube page. Oops. I'm just gonna find my YouTube funnel, Serge Guattari, and all I really want to do is, I wanna ask the AI, now in this case, update every button in the code to resend with this link, and resend me the code so I can update the funnel in GHL, right? Every single button is going to redirect to YouTube Serge Guattari, right? Boom. So now all I have to do, copy paste this again, go into the code editor, update this bad boy, save, view it again, and here you go. The funnel is live. All from doing what? From just asking the AI to replace every button here, schedule my call. If you click here too, open a new tab, my page gets opened, right? Now, let's say I'm like, okay, but how do I embed a video or my calendar, right? Same thing. What would I need to get you to embed a video and a calendar? Give me this, like just literally, boom. I want you guys to see that all you need, every time you have any question, any bottleneck, you just ask the AI to tell you what you need. So for the calendar, URL, video start time, auto references, or you could literally just embed. To generate the proper iframe embed, I can use a YouTube video, Vimeo, Wistia, Loom, or any other platform that provides an embed link, right? So if you have a VSL on YouTube, which we don't recommend, you just should have it on Wistia or Vimeo. Calendar, provider, your domain, styling, boom, boom. So these are all the things you would need. You would just need to provide it, and then you just get it to, hey, now add them in the code, and then you ask that code again, and then you deploy it. That is all you need to do to be able to deploy funnels using this platform. That's it, which is really sick for me, in my opinion, right? Now that we have the funnel, let's move on to the next page, right? Which is, I want to build nurturing assets. I want to build ads. I want to build appointment setting scripts. I want to build sales scripts, right? So let's keep going. All right, so I'm going to build nurturing assets, which could be like emails once the lead opt in to our funnel, create artifact, boom. Now for the nurture our assets, what I actually want to do is, I would normally traditionally use the offer to generate the actual nurture assets based on the offer, but I actually want to leverage the category, the positioning artifact. Why? Because there's so much story and context within this output that I can just have actual proper in-market as things that resonate the most with the actual prospect. So I'm going to say, can you create that nurture as they opt in my funnel? I want it built to fit in GHL, and I want it based on this research for the med spa niche. Here it is. Now, to be honest, you could have as many emails as you want, but I just want to show you guys an example. All right, so it just generated the emails. Your journey from manual, boom, welcome to the Aesthetic Growth Engine community. You've just taken the first step. Over the next few days, this is what you'll discover, right? Ready to see the difference, click the button. And this, I guess, would be resending them to the VSL. So maybe they just opted in on your ads and you want to drive them back to watching the video so they can be actually offered to book a call, right? Truth bomb and pain point, right? 40% of your ad spend is vanishing. Here is why. Did you know that 40% of every dollar, because leads fall into the lead leak labyrinth, what you see, what happens? Buy the latest laser, flood the inbox, chaos, boom, boom. The result, 8 to 12K a month in spend. The fix, an AI-driven capture qualification, boom, boom, right? The AI-powered nurture. See? It waits until it pushes for a call till the third email. So the first one, these first two should essentially be leading back to the video, and then the third one should have an actual CTA to book a call, right? Now, once we have these emails,
You can also see here how to import into GHL. It also gives you the steps on how to do it, right? Now, can you give me, actually, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to open up another nurture our asset, MedSpa post booking. So once they've booked a call, can you create, I would say 5 email and 3 SMS sequences that are meant to get the prospect to show up. I want a 80% show up rate minimum. Leveraging this artifact and research for what the market is dealing with that's keeping them from scaling. I want them to feel like not showing up will cost them millions every time they every time as they read each message. Here is the asset. Here is the research doc. All right, so it messed up a few times because it couldn't actually output. It was outputting just like the headlines or the summary of the emails. And this is what I asked it. Hey, please write each email one after another. Provide as much context in each as possible. Think of yourself as an 8-figure copywriter and sales process nurture our architect, right? And it gave me email 1. Immediate confirmation: your calendar is about to unlock $1 million in revenue. The first brick of a $1 to $5 million growth wall is waiting. Congratulations on taking your first step towards over $1 million revenue runway for your clinic. Most aesthetic clinics never realize that every missed high ticket appointment leaks 12 to 15K in immediate profit and up to 30 to 50K in lifetime value. That's the lead, boom, boom, boom. And then your appointment is the first brick in the 5, boom, boom, boom. By showing up, you lock in the revenue that would otherwise disappear. Confirm your slot now, 1 click. The reason why you want to have things like, okay, confirm your slot now, is because every time someone takes an action or says yes to something, it reinforces a behavior. And as you might know or might not know, every time someone says yes to something, it leads to them keep saying yes to that same thing, right? This is why micro commitments are so important in sales. It's like, if you say yes to book and call, you're probably also going to say yes to showing up. If you say yes to showing up, you're probably potentially going to be in a better position to say yes to actually buying than someone who never said yes to anything, right? Anyway, did you know that every $1 add this appointment to your calendar, it automatically just adjusts your time? So you maybe want to have a Google Calendar of their event so they can add the event on their calendar, which is really sick. Email 3, AI growth blueprint. Your personalized AI growth blueprint awaits. Here's a stage 4. So essentially we'll make them aware of the actual system and how it's designed. Scarcity, only 2 slots left. Don't let the 200K slip away. Our AI has analyzed clinic capacity, availability, and projected LTV. It predicts only 2 optimal slots remain this week for a high-ticket treatment. Missing the slot could cost you boom, boom, boom. I like that. And then these are the SMS, of course. You can change them as you want. Boom. So we have emails as they opt in. We have emails after they book. Okay? Super important. Now, as someone who understands the importance of content, another thing that I also want to do is, what if I was able to get the same agent to help me write a script for a YouTube video? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to copy paste this here, right, which is the new game, right, and I guess also the old enemy. And then I want to go back to here. I want to create a new nurture architect, nurture assets, and I want to say YouTube video assets, right, for MedSpa. Boom. What I want to do is I want to create a YouTube video based on the new game, other videos for each truth bomb, and another video to break down the system for the MedSpa niche. Can you help me script package each YouTube video based on the artifact or research doc for this market that I'm about to paste? Do it as if you were a 9-figure YouTube strategist packaging expert, and really good at retaining viewers. These videos will be used to nurture leads that enter our funnel. So just copy pasted that. Then I'm just gonna paste it. We have an agent that builds kind of like sales assets, which would be a lot better. But I want to just see if you can just also cook it here, to be honest. All right, let's see. So it just generated it. The video one, he went ahead and generated it. I believe it's not necessarily going ahead and scripting the whole thing. So I want you to the whole script, not just give me the structure or guardrails. Can you resend everything and make it more thorough and add as much context as possible? Anything that would require context from me, add a placeholder, I guess, and I'll replace it later. Because sometimes it might need like case studies, it might need numbers and this and that. I want to just fill it up, and then just check it out later, right? I know you can just be like, just tell me, just add it, just make it bold so I can find it in the scripts. Now, this is a big ask. Like, this is like a lot of videos, right? So let's see how he does. All right, so it just created the videos and the scripts, but I wanted to add it. I want you to send the above in the editor so I can see them properly, right? So whenever it's kind of like send stuff here, you just get it to send it here. Let's see if it's going to do it. Yay. I feel like it's really hard to read, so I'm just going to tell it that it's hard to read in the editor. Anyway, I guess this is easier to read. And these videos are short, which is nice. Perfect. So now, you see, now that you guys have like the script, well, you need some type of visuals, right? So what I'm wanting to do is I want to build some Lucy charts, some flow charts. So I'm going to do the following. I'm going to go to the flowchart one, YouTube asset, where I'm going to actually do the following. Can you turn this research doc, the system design part, into a process map that I can use to for a walkthrough showing the prospect how this system can change every metric and bring in more revenue in their business. Here is the artifact. Boom. So now it might be too much for this one system. There you go. So you see, like, it's gonna break, right? Sometimes it will break the actual artifact creator. It didn't show up in the editor because it's too heavy. Can we do one step at a time? Guys, every time something breaks, you just ask it, right? Boom. So this is the current step. So what I would do, literally straight up like this, I would go on a Lucy chart and I would do this. Take a screenshot of this. I think you should be able to kind of like, boom, right? And then let's do, so would you like process step 2 to show capture, add KPI? Let me know which direction we want to take. Let's move to step 2 and add KPIs, please. And maybe even add a text, a short text explaining each metric before and after. We just broke the system again. I guess it's too big of a request. It broke the editor and didn't show up. Please figure out how to make it fit in the editor. I'm going to see if it can fix it. Single KPI, node that contains, update the editor with it, please. Is it going to show? Still not showing up. All right, so kind of like broke it again because it didn't work. So I just said, hey, it's not working. Please make step 2 a bit simpler, but still thorough to understand. Okay. So then you would essentially just go ahead and just take a screenshot of this, and you just want to start building these process maps, right? Why? Because they're going to be important for your YouTube and explanation of how the actual system impacts their business, right? Now, you don't necessarily need these GPT-4 or what the actual underlying system to build it looks like, right? But you need to just have the process map built. I'm going to just put all of them together, and then I'm going to show you guys later. All right, so I put them together here. Essentially, what is missing is just the context and the script, which would come from the, where is it? The YouTube assets? Yeah, the YouTube video scripts. Here goes hand in hand with this video, and then since not to go too deep, I guess I can just make a video differently on how to essentially build process maps and do a process selling video. But you would essentially explain the prospect with this here, and just add like, hey, this is where you're at, this is where you're currently at, current situation, this is where you need to be, desired situation. And then you essentially want to show them that there is a gap, right? There is a gap from between these. And this is what's costing you millions of dollars. The $1 million gap. $1 million gap. All because manual triage, ad spend is wasted, and your clients aren't worth as much, right? This is your current world. Then this is what you're going to need, right? AI to capture and qualify, AI-powered nurturing, smart calendar sync and clinician prep, and post-treatment re-engagement referral, right? If you have these, you become a 7-figure clinic and beyond without needing to hire more staff. Boom. You use some of this script here to just cook up a little YouTube video, and then if you want, you then can visit one system at a time. Boom. Based on what? Based on the truth bombs. Ads don't close patients, they only expose the leak. Then you go and talk super on the AI capturing the leads, right? And maybe a little bit of nurturing, because I think ads and nurturing, how you capture the leads and how you nurture them impacts the lead cost, right? Perfect. All right. I'm going to pause this here, and then I'm going to keep working on the ads in the next video. All right, let's go. Now let's create ads. Now, when it comes to ads creation or anything related to content, you actually have two options. We first rolled out this feature or in this cooking station here, where you essentially have a chat option. And let's say earlier, if you remember, I essentially asked the ads architect to give me the ads, right? So essentially, you don't even need to do this. You could just copy paste your offer right here. Copy paste this, open up a new artifact, just select ads, and then you'll have this here where you can open it up and essentially just copy paste your offer like I did here. I said, here's my offer, please create ads. And at the bottom I said, help me create 5 ads that are used on Meta, right? Now, you can change this, you can improve the images, you could even upload things to make it more visceral and more kind of like realistic, or you could just ask it, I want the ads to be more, please update the editor with each new ad, right? You could just ask it, right? This was kind of like the first iteration of how we wanted to create content, but today it isn't the only path. We've built this place called TryCook.ai content. This is essentially a place where you can build more than just ads, but really we believe this is going to be the future of creating content. I'm talking about ads, I'm talking about reels, I'm talking about image, everything that you want. Eventually, even long format content. How does this work? Really simple. You have a bunch of different features of things you could do. You have text. How does text work? You get this button here. Essentially, you have the ability to ask this prompt generator to generate the prompt that you want to be able to create the asset. So as an example, one of the biggest issue when it comes to creating creatives is that you may not know the best creative to create, right? Let's say you didn't have the option to be able to go on Think and come up with, let me show you. You didn't have the ability to go on Think and get the scripts created here, right? Well, you could technically just open up this Cook page and say, hey, I want to go after med spas. Can you create one prompt that essentially helps me create a static image ad to attract leads and sales calls for this offer, right? And then you can just copy paste the offer from here. One second, I'm just gonna find it. You could copy paste, just go back to where, let's see, Cook. And you could just essentially copy paste this thing, which is, I'm gonna just leave it here because I don't want to lose, because I know that as soon as I leave that cooking page for content, it actually is going to disappear. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. See, like it disappeared. So I'm just gonna say generate text. And then you just close this. What it's going to do is after a minute, it is actually going to generate the text prompt that you can then use in an image asset to generate the actual creative, right? So let me show you. So this is the visual concept. Let's see if it actually works. But I'm going to show you how easy it actually is. So you go here and you're like, boom, generate image, save changes, 40%. Let's see what it ends up creating. So this is what it ended up creating. Okay, double your high ticket appointments in 60 days, cut ad waste by 40%, boost profits margins to 35%, book your free consultation today, right? Now look at where it gets exciting. You can turn this into a video, okay? And then once you have a video, I'm gonna wait a few seconds for it to create the video. I'm gonna show you where things get really exciting. All right, so it just generated the ad, and let me show you this. This is pretty crazy. So you open this up, play, boom. This is the new wave of creating content, all with AI. Now, you'd be like, well, something is missing. What is missing? The actual audio, right? So check this out. You take the ad, okay, copy that generated the image ad, and then you go to text. Why text? Because I don't know how I need to prompt the audio itself, right? So I'm going to say, can you create a 10-second audio, because the video was 10 seconds, an audio voiceover that would go along this ad script, this ad, boom. Generate text, save changes, boom, there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy paste this here. I'm going to be boom, transform, and then I'm going to go where? I'm going to go to audio, because now I want to create the audio for this ad that I just created. All you have to do, generate voice, save changes, and you just wait for the audio to be created. And guess what? Once the audio is created, all you have to do is do what? Click on this ad, lip sync it with what? With the audio you just created. You just click save changes. Okay? This takes a little bit of time because it's a much more complicated process. So if I was to click here, you see it's loading. It's still creating, lip syncing the audio. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to come back to this and I'm going to open up my computer so you can actually hear the ad that turned into a video with the voiceover that's created by AI. So image is created by AI. It turns into a video by AI, and you create the voice from this initial ad script, and then you have a video ad, right? Now, the only thing that's a little bit annoying is that this will actually be even easier once we have access to the Sora API, because now you can just, with one single prompt, you can actually create the entire image, okay? So to maybe make it load faster, I'm going to see if it already updated it. 1 second. Let's see if it's done. Actually, it should be done. 1 second. No, it's not yet done. Let me pause this. All right, it's now done. Now, since you can't necessarily hear it because I have my headphones on and because my computer is shut, look at what happens. Actually, I ended up sending it to my phone. I'm going to show you. Clarity. Now, the only thing is that it's a guy's voice, so we haven't added a woman's voice. And since it's a woman that's speaking, check this out. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but like, check this out.
Transform chaos into clarity. Unlock 5 times more booked appointments with our AI solutions. Say goodbye to wasted ads and hello to higher margins. Elevate your clinic today. Visit us to...
And then you have this ads too.
Transform chaos into clarity. Unlock 5 times more booked appointments with our AI solutions. Say goodbye to wasted ads and hello to higher margins. Elevate your... Transform chaos into clarity. Unlock 5 times more booked appointments with our
I don't know
AI
why
solutions.
it's just
Say goodbye.
Asian characters. I don't know if it's like every ad here, at least the ones that we created here. This is also another one where I was able to create and actually turn it into an ad. Everybody here is Asian. I don't know what's going on. I don't know which model it is. So this also goes from like an image into an actual script, right? I'm going to see if I can actually just play it on my computer. 1 second, just so you guys can see it. All right, I think you guys should hear it. Let me just play this one. It's a little weird because it's a guy's voice, but check this out.
Transform chaos into clarity. Unlock 5 times more booked appointments with our AI solutions. Say goodbye to wasted ads and hello to higher margins. Elevate your clinic today. Visit us.
So every single ad, because it all stems from the same script, kind of like has the same, I guess, same script. But look at this one. I think it's a little bit better.
Transform chaos into clarity. Unlock 5 times more booked appointments with our AI solutions. Say goodbye to wasted ads and hello to higher margins. Elevate your clinic today. Visit us to now.
Boom. Same thing for here. If I was to restart this ad.
Unlock 5 times more booked appointments with our AI solutions. Say goodbye to wasted ads and hello to higher margins. Elevate your clinic today.
And as the script gets longer, you also can have the video be longer, okay? But let me keep going. I'm going to turn my computer again. Shut it down. 1 second. So what I just showed you is just one workflow, which is you could just use the text prompt here to give it your offer and then ask it to create one ad, one version, and then another, right? And then once you're done, you then create an image, put the prompt that this page gave you, then generate an image. Then the next thing you want is, based on the prompt of the image, you then want to ask for another prompt that is for the audio, right? You say, hey, please create for me the voiceover that would go with this ad. And then you just paste the copy of the ad and you just generate text, and then you copy that text, then you create the audio. And to turn an image into a video, all you really need to do is click an ad like this and then say turn it into a video. Eventually it's going to be a longer video. Right now I think they're limited, right? This is if you were to want to build, if you have your offer, create a bunch of different ads. Maybe this isn't necessarily even to just create ads. That's where I want it to be important. This station is actually not meant for ads. It's actually meant for longer format content. That's where we're trying to get this at. Can we turn words into content? Because one of the biggest trend that's happening right now is if you can create content, you can acquire any levels of attention. If you can get attention, you can convert it into leads, appointments, and money. We are trying to eradicate the need to do content to scale a business. Everything is going to be AI generated. And of course you have platforms like Sora, where the entire software, I'm going to show you guys, OpenAI this essentially released this platform where all the content on this platform is all AI generated. Everything is all AI generated, right? So we believe that there is a world where the same backend that is here, we're going to be able to plug it into this platform and allow you to be able to create short form content, maybe eventually long form content, and then you build faceless pages for any market. A lot of businesses are going to need it, etc. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent, but this is essentially how you would then turn it into a video. Any ad, any image. And guess what? The image can be prompted any way you want. You want something more realistic. You want someone on the clinic's chair or blah, you can ask it to do that, right? Now, I showed you guys how to essentially build it from here. But if you are like me and you had also asked the think page to create all the ads for you, you could just come here and copy paste the prompt and then go back to cooking. And then you can just go straight to the image creation and prompt and say, hey, this is the image that, this is the image I want, right? You don't have to necessarily come and prompt it here. You can just do it from this workflow, which is that you initially were talking to the thinking part, coming up with the offer, coming up with the systems, coming up with the ads. And you can just take all the ads and just go to the cooking page, right? By the way, to visit the cooking page is trycook.ai/content, right? And then the image will just get generated, okay? Any image can be turned into a video. And then once you have a video, you can then turn it into a voiceover and then make an actual reel, right? This is going to be a game changer because all you have to do is just have a script. Have a script for the ad, have a script for the voiceover, have a script for the video, and everything is created by AI, generated by AI, okay? You don't have to do anything other than just be creative. Ask it what you want, right? We believe that this is going to be one of the most useful aspect of the entire platform, okay? And then you also can create B-rolls, right? So if you want multiple shots and you want to connect multiple videos, you can actually just add the same prompt here. Just get AI to give you the same prompt, right? So you could essentially be like, hey, you could do something like this. I want to help you understand and be creative as possible. You could be like, hey, here is the ad prompt. Can you help me create 5 different prompt scripts to create a B-roll that goes with the ad? Boom. And then just generate. And then it will do what? It will create the B-roll prompts so you can post them in here. And it's that easy. Okay? I just want to make sure that this was clear because this is going to be a game changer. And we thought that this was much better than just having this place here, which is just for the ads. This limits you a lot, right? This is just for image creation. But what if you want to make videos, right? And this is us taking a step towards a future where everything is going to be AI generated. And I actually think that there is an opportunity where you could literally build a business around creating content with just this tool and go sell it to businesses. And maybe you even train a VA to do this every day and you go charge thousands of dollars a month to a bunch of businesses that will never in a million years create their own short form content. And you just ship out ads, you ship out short form content, and it's all AI generated. This is actually going to be really sick. Anyway, so this is how you would actually go ahead and create your ads. Now I'm going to jump into another video and actually start building the sales script, the appointment setting script, everything that you need from once you have the traffic, the lead gen solved, then how are you actually going to convert? What are all the assets you need to convert these leads into appointments? See you guys in the next video. Bye. Before we work on the sales script and the appointment setting script, there is one asset that is super important to create, which is you have to understand that post-booking on this landing page, let's say people will see your main video sales letter, which is this video here. Just shoot it, record it, and then you can pin it right here. Once they see this and they apply, let's say you'll have your calendar below here. Once they book a call, they need to be able to get to see a video that hypes them up and that warms them up to actually showing up for the sales call. And the way that you build that one is really simple. You're going to need to find the pre-call video sales letter, which is right here. And then you're going to just give it, hey, create the pre-call video sales letter. This is my offer. It's going to look at your offer. Which offer is here? And then it's going to validate, hey, here's what I've captured from your description. And then it's going to write your pre-call video sales letter. If you're watching this, 2 things are already true. You care enough about your clinic's growth to invest time in a strategy that actually moves the needle. You're feeling the sting of wasted ad spend, missed callbacks, and equipment that sit idle while your clinicians are overbooked. You're not alone. Most high-performing aesthetic clinics hit that lead labyrinth before they discover a system. I would probably change this to something that's more easy to understand. Set the stage. This won't be another generic sales call. Think of it as a pivot point. The moment you decide whether to keep patching leaks or to install a full-scale AI-driven growth engine that turns every laser, Botox, and filler slot into a profit, right? As a token of appreciation for your time, I've prepared 3 ready-to-use resources. Text me the number that resonates the most, and I'll walk you through it on our call, right? You essentially are trying to incentivize them to want to show up. You want to give them as many things as you can. These are still micro commitments. They booked a call, they watched the video, they watched the pre-call VSL, and now they're going to text you and send you an SMS, either replying to your email or maybe they have your phone number, saying which one they care the most about, right? You shoot this, you can then actually go ahead and actually create a landing page on Cook for this. I'll show you 1 second. So you go ahead and create a new landing page, because we're going to need a landing page for that pre-call or thank you page VSL. Okay. Let's say this here. Can you create a thank you page once people have booked a call? This is the VSL that will be on that landing page. I'm just going to copy this bad boy, and this is the funnel they saw before. So align this funnel with the first page, colors and structure, so in matches. See, I've never necessarily requested it to do this before, but I'm just going to see if I can get the code of this initial landing page so that I can just copy paste this and give it to the AI so that it remembers, or at least it aligns this new page with update the editor, please, so I can see it. Boom. Let's see if it actually does it. I'm excited to see this one. See, it hallucinated and it actually wrote the script on the landing page, but as you can see, it matched the page feel. I don't need the VSL script on the page. I just need a slot for the video to be embedded. Boom. All right, so it still won't add it, but it did add the video to be embedded. But see, it also still has like the book or call button, but I don't want it. They've already booked a call, so please remove any buttons that lead to booking a call. Let's see if it does remove it at some point. All right, finally, after having to even copy paste what was on the funnel, it has finally given me the thank you page where you can essentially just have embed the video, which is this script here. Wait, I don't even know where it's at. The one that was on the think page that we just worked on. So you, after recording this, you upload it to Wistia, Vimeo. It's like a hosting video platform, and then you ask it for the embed, and then you literally go to this here, and then you give it the embed link, and you say, hey, please give me the code with the actual thing embedded, and then you just deploy it on Go High Level like we did earlier for this funnel, right? I just wanted to show that because that's super important to have, and you're going to see in the content of the program, every single funnel has these 2 steps. There's the main page where it's like the VSL to apply, and then there's the thank you page, which has another pre-call video to then go ahead and just get people warmed up for the actual call, right? Now that we have that, let's actually work on the sales appointment setting script first, okay? The way that I'm going to do it, really simple. I'm going to take the offer. I'm going to go to the sales script side of things, which is here. Eventually, we're going to have we're still deciding on what is the best way to essentially have everything categorized, but you can have, let's just say, appointment setting script. Let's create artifact. And then I'm just going to say we're going to be driving leads from ads to a VSL landing page. And I want to create a script that we'll use to reach out to every lead that opts in and try to get them to convert into an appointment if they haven't already booked. And I also want a script for those that have booked a slot already. This is the offer that these prospects are going to be booking for. Boom. Now, see, it's going to write the script here. I don't like it. I'm going to just be like, please add the script in the editor for me. I want to see it there. Boom. Should update the editor. Boom. Aesthetic growth engine lead to revenue call scripts. Beautiful. Hey, open it when they're opting in. Warm up, confirm they remember opting in. Hey, first name, how's your day going? I just saw you fill out the form. Post about double booking high ticket appointments in 60 days. Doubling booked high ticket appointments. Cool. Boom. So see, this script allows you to essentially be able to find what the people are struggling with before the call and essentially get them to book a call. If they haven't booked a call, if they have already booked a call, then you use this script to essentially give to your setter. Eventually, you can also personalize this and say, hey, this is going to be used and built into an AI voice agent or an AI appointment setter. But I don't want to necessarily overwhelm you guys with how to do that. So that's going to be a separate video on how you can essentially turn this into a script that will then be executed on with AI, right? But this is the appointment setting script. Now let's go build what? The actual sales script. Once you have prospects on a call, how should you be selling them, right? Sales script, MedSpa. Let's create this one. Now, here's something that's super important. I like to have different approaches around how to design sales scripts. I think one that was really good is Hormozi's closer framework. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. You can literally write closer framework by Hormozi and you can actually see it. So for me, I'm going to be like, hey, build me a sales script following Hormozi's closer framework. This is the market and offer we're pushing. I want it as thorough as possible and matching clearly Hormozi's framework. And I also want 10 objection scripts along with the full script. Please update the editor with this full script and give me context at each line as to why we're doing it that way. Boom. Let's just wait a second. Okay, so this is what it delivered. See, like, it's super short. It's not as in depth. So I'm actually just going to ask it to. One second. I disconnected the actual keyboard. 1 second. It doesn't match Hormozi's framework, and it's also pretty light when it comes to the script. Can you resend it, but solve these issues? All right, so it's still kind of like sending me the thing that I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something here. I'm going to show you guys something. General agent, go to expert. Let's find the research and develop research agent, right? Boom. Can you help me find the framework that Hormozi teaches to close? I believe he calls it the closer framework. Give me the entire framework and break it down step by step. Boom. What this agent is actually going to do, which niche establishment should I study? He built it for gym launch. I guess this isn't necessarily going to do boom, boom, boom. Let's see. This actually has the ability to do web search. So it will actually go and do research online. So see, like, whenever you're stuck and you feel like these agents don't necessarily have the right structure or the right output that you want, you can use this research agent to essentially try to find the right framework that you need. So I'm going to pause this and come back when it has something. See, clarify, label, offer. This is much better. So I'm going to take this framework here, then I'm going to give it back to the cooking one, and then I'm going to say, hey, follow this step by step. All right, since the output is not actually being sent, this thing is actually doing research, but it's not actually being sent here in the chat. We're going to be looking into it. So all you have to do is do the same thing, but on ChatGPT. Can you give me Alex Hormozi's closer framework? I want to leverage it to get an agent to build my sales script. Here's Alex Hormozi's closer framework. Boom. Nice. Cool. Perfect. So once you have AI prompt-based question banks, let's see. Let's go back to here. This is the framework I want you to follow. Please make it as thorough as possible and still provide me with the 10 objection handling that would be to show up when selling this offer. Update the editor when done, please. Boom. Get this thing to cook. Let's go. All right, so it updated the script. Now I'm going to be working on making it even more thorough, but I just want to walk you through how this script works. The goal is to uncover the prospect current situation, pain points, and goals. The founder, closer, use genuine curiosity to surface the problem, qualify the lead. Hey, Serge, thanks for taking the call. What made you decide to hop on a call today, right? Essentially gives you context as to why this script is. Where are you right now with your clinic's lead to revenue flow, right? You're asking them precise questions around their actual metrics in the business. Because when it comes to selling AI solutions that actually impact growth in a business, it is all about creating better conversions, right? If instead of having a human reaching out to every lead, you have AI reaching out to all of them, then the speed to lead goes through the roof. Every person gets to speak with AI, and it is also personalized, right? So in order for you to be able to explain how this entire system, whether that be an AI voice agent, better content, better creatives, how it will work for them, you need to first start with asking them what they're struggling with. And you need to understand to a T every metric in their business that would be impacted by the system that you would be selling them, okay? Take the time to read all of this. The only thing that will change is kind of like this here. Of course, we're going to be using a different system. Implementation timeline, boom, boom, boom. So you give them, it's like a 30 days build out. That should be enough. You don't need a 60-day rollout. It could be like 2 weeks build, another 2 weeks of maybe launching their ads if you're helping them do ads, or if you're just only helping them with content and that to essentially help them get traffic, all that good stuff, right? But I'm going to be creating a better, more thorough. I'm going to show you because there's so many different ways you could sell. There's 100 different sales frameworks out there, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be doing creating different ones for the same offer, right, in another session, right? But so far you have the appointment setting, you have the nurturing assets that you need to add into your Go High Level account. You have the landing page, the thank you page. You can change these colors as you want. You have the VSL script that you need to record, and then your offer, right? And then you have the cooking part. Okay, these are AI agents, so this we don't need to go over this right now. But if you go to content, you can have all your ads created here, right? And maybe by the time you're seeing this video, we will have an API with Sora that allows you to essentially create ads and videos and be ready to deploy them on ads, right? In the next videos, I'm actually going to be creating content of, okay, how do you now deploy these creatives on ads? How do you use this platform to essentially help you structure the ad campaign on Meta, right? And the next one is maybe you're doing cold outreach. So, okay, how do you leverage AI on this platform to essentially structure the campaign, show you where you should go be outreaching on, and what should be the outreach script, etc., right? But yeah, I think this is a lot of work if you've gone through this till now, but now you should understand a little bit more on how do you leverage this platform for the features that I've gone through. Okay, let's go.